Oh shit.
Canes fan, we got the new school Canes here, and apparently my camera doesn't want to work. There we go. We got the wholesome one, and we got Miami Hurricanes talk, and Paul, and obviously the your boy here, me. And we're talking Canes today, guys. How is everyone doing? Mr. HG, great to see you there. Child, what's up, man? 23, George, how you doing, brother? We already
George.
got Mike S, man. How is everybody doing? We got 20 people already in the chat. Guys, we're just going to have some fun tonight. We're going to let it flow. We're going to be really focusing on what you guys want to talk about, any things you want to say, mention. We're going to be taking special attention to that. But we got one topic to kick it off here. And I'll let you hit it off of this time, Holson.
All right, 2 weeks in a row, I get to start the show. Let's go. I'm climbing up the ranks. Um, what makes this 2019 season exciting for everyone? I want you all in the chat to talk about it, and I know each one of us has something different because, dog, every year we get excited. Every year we have the conversation as, hey, we're 1 or 2 wins away from being nationally ranked again and being in the conversation for top 4, top 5 teams in the country. So what about the 2019 season makes you all excited? I posted the question. Take it off, Paul.
What makes me excited about the 2019 season is this is the first time we actually have a complete team. Since Al Golden that I can remember, we had a pretty good offense, but we didn't have a defense. Then we went to Mark Richt, where the play call was conservative. The first year the offense was okay. It was above average. It was clicking towards the end, and the defense was developing into a very strong defense. Second year, we got away with a lot of things on offense. The ball bounced our way a lot of times, and our defense was great. Third year, our defense was amazing. Offense was flat out awful. Now we have Danny Enos, okay? He is a quarterback guru. His specific job is to elevate quarterback play at Miami, which is something that hasn't happened in quite a while. I'm looking forward to top talent play at quarterback, a lot of quarterback development, a great creative offense that we haven't seen in a very long time, and a outstanding defense. You are going to see a complete Miami Hurricanes football team for the first time in, I don't know, since 2003, maybe 2001, 2002. It's been a while, but you're going to finally see a complete team.
I'm definitely with you, and my thought before you went on that is kind of similar to it. I mean, we could talk about Diaz and new coach and all that, but it's all unproven. It's all our perception of it, and I feel like we've talked enough about that. My one thing, and I know y'all want to stay away from this topic, but I'm gonna tell you honestly, I do not remember a year where I was this excited actually about the quarterback competition. I wasn't excited about it before. I was nervous about it. I was scared. This is the first, because nothing against Kaya and Steven Morris, or Rozier, whatever. Great respect for all they did for our program and the effort they put in. But I was never excited for the quarterback competition after spring. I was worried for it. This year, I'm actually excited because we have a quarterback's coach. They're in good hands.
Yes.
And we have talent, a plethora of it. Not just 2 guys neck and neck, and one maybe goes down, then it goes. There's 3 guys, maybe even 4. We don't know if like some unknown candidate comes in and Enos is like, you know what, pay him attention. Probably not. But, it's just, well, we always have Kyle's favorite walk-on. Was it Proctor?
Not bad.
But it's just, I don't remember a year where I was as excited about the quarterback competition, which I'm hoping and kind of assuming quarterback play will be exciting. Before it was good, but we went away from that for a while. It's been a while since I remember good quarterback play consistently. And I am more, honestly, of an offensive guy right now. Wholesome loves his defense. I enjoy my offense. I enjoy seeing those wide receivers break out. I love seeing the long pass. And everyone usually leans to that. But I just missed it from Miami. It's been a while. We've been down and going worse, as you mentioned, Paul, on our offense. And I'm just excited about this quarterback competition for the first time forever. And just the offense. Cannot wait to see us throwing cannons and bombs in end zones and torching people's secondary.
Okay. good answers by both of you all. What makes me excited about this upcoming season has to be we were literally in every single game last year.
Yeah.
Including LSU to a certain extent because LSU only put up 6 points in the second half.
Right.
If we could have had 2 more touchdowns from the offense,
Yeah.
maybe 8 more minutes in that game when the score is a lot closer.
Oh yeah.
Because they hit us in the mouth and then we kind of rallied, but it was too late. And if you look at the score, if you look at stats, you say Miami was outclassed. But if you watch the game again, first half, yes, because it was just Gerald Willis keeping us in the game. But second half, you saw Miami kind of pull it together. We lost games by 4 or 5 points. All 6 of our losses were by less than a touchdown. So with Manny Diaz's great defense, getting a boost as far as we're losing the experience, but we're gaining more athleticism, if you ask me. If you switch out Jaquan Johnson, who is one of my favorite safeties of all time in recent case history, you swatch him out for Gervin Hall or Bubba Bolden. Yeah, they haven't played as much, but these guys were high 4, almost 5-star guys. As far as they're taller and a little bit more athletic. So I'm excited to see what we can add on to a 7-6 team that was in all 14 games. And to know that the strength and conditioning has gone to a whole nother level.
Yes.
And I was big on us looking like SEC guys. Sure. Honestly, if you go back to 2016, all our players looked like they, SEC guys. We were just big and bulky, but we couldn't run with anybody. And it only got worse because if you go back to 2018, everyone was hands on their hips throughout the entire fourth quarter on both sides of the ball. Mainly defense because they had played almost 500 snaps by like week 6. Defense was on the field way, way, way too much.
And on the bad side of the field too.
Right.
Yeah.
My team was horrible. Something Paul brings up a lot, and both Anton brings up a lot. Hopefully, it was sickening to watch a Canes game. Okay, yeah, we went 3 and out, and we couldn't even punt the damn football, what's going on here? You're on scholarship too, bro. You get 2 things to do: punt the ball and hopefully kick it in between the goalposts. And we couldn't do either last year.
We had one go backwards 2 years ago, I think. Literally kicked it backwards.
So,
not the highlight film you want to be on.
Yeah.
Those are a couple of things that I'm excited for. And like Paul always brings it up, man, having a great offense in today's college football is nothing like it. It was tough. And maybe that's my second question. Is it better to have a great defense and a subpar offense or a great offense and a subpar defense?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
My initial thought to that is it depends which era you're in. It's been changing. I feel like
I'm talking about right now.
Right now, I think it's been. If you look at the scores and everything, I think it's better offense and a subpar defense. And take the playoff games and what the scores of those were. Take Alabama versus Oklahoma. I mean, a shootout in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
But that was against an elite defense.
It was. I'm not bashing on defense. I'm just saying if you look at the scores of big time games, they're going higher and higher season after season, at least in my perspective. And it's seeming that offense has been much more of a focus lately. Maybe they're wrong about it, but it seems to me that having a better offense is the key at this era to me.
Okay.
Paul?
So, to me, a great offense and a subpar defense kind of remind me of schools like Texas Tech, West Virginia, and Oklahoma State, top of my head. Will Grier. Cliff Kingsbury's offense, we all know, with Patrick Mahomes. Oklahoma State with Mike Van Gundy. All those 3 offenses were killers. I mean, they would put up points like crazy, like literally 50 points a game. It was either 40 was like the lowest scoring game, but their defense was awful. And those teams, Texas Tech would always finish like 7-5 or 6-6. Oklahoma State was 9-3 or 10-2. West Virginia's 8-4 and 9-3 usually, or they would start off hot and then finish towards the end of the year, lose to Oklahoma, Texas. So I think it's good to have a subpar offense and a very good defense. Like the phrase says, guys, defense wins you championships. I highly believe it. So when you have a very good defense and it's the fourth quarter and you need a final drive to stop the other team from scoring, you got to rely on your defense or make a quick stop on third down. It's all on your defense. So I think defense, having a very good defense is more important than having a very good offense. But
don't be picking out all the 7-5 teams. Take Oklahoma. Garbage. You didn't even mention Oklahoma. They had a garbage defense, and they amazing offense.
I don't think it's that garbage.
You don't think their defense was subpar?
I don't think it's that bad. Compared to, it's above average, I'd say.
Okay. I mean, OSU, they usually have a good defense, but last year, I mean, I had fans telling me, bro, our defense is broken. We're not getting it together. I don't know what's going on. But the offense was pulling it, enough to where they had, was it 10 wins, 11 wins that season?
Yeah. Very good. Very good football program offensively. I'm
not dissing any on defense. I'm with you. Defense wins championships, but I feel like the game is changing and it's being more modernized. I mean, I think I know what I'm gonna hear Wholesome say, but I'm curious to hear what is your opinion on the matter here, Wholesome?
Actually, listening to both of you guys' points brought back years. You may sitting here thinking, my mind goes straight to Miami Hurricanes to use for evidence. So it's basically saying, would you rather have the 2014 Canes or would you rather have the 2017 Canes? Would you much rather be a shootout, game in and game out, but can't stop anybody? Or would you much rather be you're not going to score on us. And if you do, it might be 10, maybe 17 points. And all we got to do is race to 21 points and we get a W. I think I would take that great defense and subpar offense, because if I can walk over as a DC, if I can walk over to the head coach or an offensive coordinator and say, just give me 21 points. Give me 3 offensive. You get paid millions of dollars a year just like I do. Give me 3 touchdowns to win this game. As opposed to an OC, you do your hardest to drive down the field and score a touchdown. And then, boom, my defense gives up a touchdown. Then you got to go drive all the way down the field again, and then, boom, my team gives up a touchdown. And you got to come beg me for just one stop.
Here's what I'll say, and I'll mention to add on the fact. When we say great defense, I'm with you that a great defense that has this one metric, havoc metrics, the ones that, the turnover chain metrics. The 2017 team, they had, I think it was number 1 in 2017, we had turnover margin at least. I mean, they basically scored more than the offense on some games. So, but you can't have a great defense that doesn't score as well. Like, it's kind of a different metric that you focus on, which is kind of the 3-4-4-3 scheme-ish type of deal. So, I think that also has to do with it as well. If you have a great defense, like, we can stop the run or whatever, we'll play smash mouth football between the trenches, sure, but if you're not causing turnovers and your offense is subpar, it's going to be tough. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, and then you also got to think, it was just mentioned in the chat, we had a top 3 defense and went 7-6.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have a great defense, but that's the difference, and that's why I said subpar, meaning closer to average as opposed to trash.
Right.
The play calling and the position that our players were put in by Mark Richt's play calling was utterly trash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it made a lot of our players look so bad because the defense and their coordinators, their coaches, and their position coaches get paid millions of dollars too. And if you give them 5 plays to watch on film, us 3 right here could be head coach, OC, DC, and if we had somewhat near talent, that's Miami probably beat them, because we would be able to say, it's 2nd and 3, Travis Homer dive, Oh, it's 3rd and 1. Chalk Gray fullback guys. Oh,
Yeah.
it's 3rd and 92. Travis Homer. Like it was disgusting to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen I don't know how that went to that point, but it's just, and I think part of that was the issue there was Rick was embracing. He had his SEC style that he believed worked, and he wanted it to work in Miami. That's what he like.
Yeah.
He had his play call on all of his was SEC style, also kind of older era. And it's not that it didn't work; it did in the past, but right now it does not. And instead of embracing the type of athleticism that Miami brings and has, he said, "Oh, DJ Dallas gained 35 pounds." Instead of, "Oh, let's use your athleticism," because he dropped, how many pounds did he lose in a month?
Bro, he went from 225 to 187.
That was bad weight.
Nothing good falls off your body that easily.
So I think that's part of it as well. And Diaz letting Enos have at it. And Enos saying, "Man, this is, I'm gonna build this offense. That's great, but I'm gonna look at my athletes and how they play, what their style is. Embracing is gonna change this monster to something different."
Yeah.
Now I see a question in the chat. Before we keep going, that was kind of interesting. It says, it's Utah Ace family fan 0722. His question was to us, why do you think Alabama is so successful? Do you think it's because of their defense or because of their offense?
I mean, I believe I have an answer to that isn't in that question.
Me, I feel the same way, actually.
Nick Saban recruiting.
Go for it, Paul. Case is just different.
It's building depth. Every year they don't rebuild at positions; they just reload. Like literally, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts. Look, who are the quarterbacks before them? AJ McCarron. I can't even think of all the quarterbacks that were in their shoes. I know it was who's the other guy? His brother was like on a TV show for like Hoover High School. I don't know if you guys remember that one. But it's like every year, running back, Mark Ingram, Najee Harris, Trent Richardson. Who's the other? I'm like forgetting names.
Eddie
like
Lacy.
that many.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lacy.
Mark Ingram. This is my squad now. I could go on and on and on.
I mean, they just rebuild.
TJ Yeldon,
Like, it's crazy. Oh, Kenyon Drake.
Scarborough. Kenyon Drake. 5-star who didn't touch the field until his senior year.
And there was 2 Harrises, right? Because there's currently one on the roster that's a Harris as well. Another one.
Yeah, you had Damian Harris.
It's crazy. Their depth is crazy.
And we didn't even touch the wide receivers. And what the thing is, you look at these wide receivers in the NFL, and oh my gosh, they're doing so well.
Yeah.
And,
not to get stuck on that, because this is, we gotta stay within our hour range. But not to stick on the Bama conversation. But I just wanted to answer that question.
Right.
I hate to answer like this, but I don't think it's offense or defense. I think it's the perception of the Alabama name. If a team knows they're gonna line up against Alabama, they play a lot different. They really do.
Oh man, we got Slim Shady Canes up here. And what's up, Ray Ross? He said Bama's known for the defense but built with the stellar offense. Yep. I saw another one in the chat, and we're definitely going to want to watch it. Yeah, I got you. You're good, Wholesome. His cam froze for a quick second.
The haters was trying to keep me from talking that talk. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, man. At the end of the day, Nick Saban, the SEC pedigree, the SEC money. And just like I said on NMD TV last night, if you put Miami in the SEC and you give Miami SEC money, SEC funding, SEC CBS money, come on now.
Woo. But
we're not going to go there.
In hopes, this whole, not that I want to be paying, but this whole ACC network or whatever will hopefully bring some more money to the ACC, and other programs need to get their stuff together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's It's not like ACC is going to be complete. I mean, what was it, 2 years ago? In 2017 when Miami did great, several teams in the ACC all did great. And then in the bowl games, we did great too. So,
Yeah.
Did my camera freeze again?
It seems like it did.
Seems like it.
That's a good one. That's not a bad freeze. I'll take that.
Just sipping his tea, y'all.
And you get to see my alma mater right there on the chest, so we all good. Man.
There you go. All right, so someone mentioned it, so we'll touch on it. They want us to talk. Who was that threw it up? Mr. HD talking about new commits. Whoo! Diaz has been cooking up a storm here, y'all.
Goodness gracious, boy. He trying to swing it out the park, man. And Mark Richt would have never had 11 commits in 20 days.
True.
11.
There's no way
True.
Mark Richt,
True.
this is something that, and I think Manny Diaz learned, and he's probably having a conversation with these young men. Hey, boss, you decommit, you recruiting somebody else at your exact same position. Darnell Harris decommits 3 other defensive ends. 2 commit, one is on the borderline committing within a week of him decommitting. And, just to post a quick question, would you much rather have 1 5-star defensive end or 3 or 4 4-star defensive end?
Right.
I read a very interesting article today. I believe it was on Kane's Insight, and they're talking about to the latest wide receiver commit. I think it was Redding, and they're basically asking him what it was that convinced him that he wanted. And he was all in on Miami from the get-go, but he got into some details that I thought was very fascinating. And basically, he said Enos's offense and the coaching that I got and the workouts. And I personally, and I will not deny this, I've been on Stubblefield and saying, I don't know about this wide receiver guy, I don't know about him. But it was his wide receiver workout that he enjoyed and liked. And this is his, recruit that he got rolled in. A very solid wide receiver commit. So props. I hope Diaz is disproving me wrong with this hire and that Stubblefield's going to do great. I'm going to be 100% sure when I start to see balls not being dropped. But it's this offense, y'all. We haven't seen it yet, but these recruits are coming in for these for these Paradise camps, and they're saying, this is different. I want to be on this. It's preparing me for the NFL. It's very much like the NFL, and that's what got him excited. It was very interesting for me to see that.
Yeah, I'm 100% behind that, and the biggest thing when it comes to that conversation is, what can we do to keep this thing going? And Manny Diaz has done 2 of those 3 things.
Yeah.
He's brought energy back into the program. As far as in our region, in our state. And at 7-6 is out recruiting the other big 3. The second thing is he's bringing in guys, he's evaluating guys, he's bringing in Miami guys that care. Like they have emotion about the University of Miami again. The third thing won't start until August 24th and won't end until January 3rd. And that's winning football games when it counts.
Winning.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, one thing I do like about Coach Diaz is he's recruiting kids that are hardworking and are passionate about the game of football. They want to work hard. It's in their blood. It's their passion. And that's one thing I really do like about Coach Diaz. He's going after, they may be a 3-star recruit, not the biggest, maybe an under-the-radar guy, but they love the game of football, and they will break their back for this youth. And that's one thing I am huge on Coach Diaz about getting. So I don't care if they're under the radar, but if they have that Braxton Berrios mentality where they're going to go 100% every game, then, hey, I'm all for it.
You could say the same thing for Trajan Bandy. You got Trajan Bandy syndrome.
Trajan Bandy, that's right. On the inside.
I don't mean to cut you off. So Slim Shady Canes, first off, appreciate your $5 donation. And he says in his donation, why does the dean at UF want students to quit wearing school shirts? He said he's getting tired of seeing them on cops. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there at UF, man.
I think that's a joke. I'm kind of stuck. But it's nice to always take a jab at George, so I'll go with it.
Well, that's I'm not worried about my music. Oh man. Oh boy. Well, I'm sorry, I cut y'all off. But someone mentioned in the chat, what is it that can Diaz replicate what Dabo's doing at Clemson? And yeah, he can, but he's got to win,
Yeah.
and he's
He
got to.
can.
And it's gonna take more than a year though to get to that point where you start saying, "Oh, sorry, I don't have a spot for the 5-star."
It's more than winning too. Dabo Sweeney
Uh-oh.
does a very good job of maintaining his coaching staff.
Okay,
If
Paul.
we do live in a world in college football, which is normal, you're gonna have a lot of programs like Alabama, Ohio State. They get a new offensive coordinator every year, every other year, and I do believe that hurts the program in a sense. It may not hurt Alabama because they're just stars. Saban has something great, but can Miami maintain the coaching staff? And if they do lose a coordinator to another job, can they come in and fill it in with a great hire or one that is equivalent to the last person that had it? So I do think that is something important for Coach Diaz to do in the near future. And I hope Coach Enos does mean when he took this job that he is here to stay. He said he loved Miami. He loved, when he came here on vacation, him and his wife said they could live here. So I hope he is true to his word on that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with those points. It's a culture mindset. It's not just a standard. It's also as well with that a culture. Definitely. And it's that brotherhood. Like him bringing in those defensive line guys for their senior year. And them all knowing they probably already had just about a first-round draft grade staying for their senior year because they loved football and they loved Clemson and they loved their family. And the team, and so that's quite a big deal. Which Diaz kind of started with keeping the linebacker crew, and So Utah's fame, I guess, kind of to answer that. Diaz, is he a lot like Sweeney? Do I agree, or I think he's like someone else?
It's a similar hire in a sense because Coach Sweeney was the interim coach for Clemson, and he wasn't a big name hire. Coach Diaz is a good defensive coordinator, but was he really a big name hire? No, he was not. Guys like Chip Kelly, Urban Meyer, those are big name hires for your program. Even Mark Richt, in a sense, was a big name hire because of his previous track record at Georgia. Coach Diaz never has coached a team. Coach Sweeney never really was the head coach of a program besides the interim role he had at Clemson. So there are some similarities. I think Coach Diaz has more of a similarity with Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be exciting to see what Coach Diaz his career at Miami is. One thing about Hurricanes fans, we are impatient. So.
Oh man, tell me about it. But I'm really excited and curious to see him being completely unleashed with his personality. Like Lincoln Riley and Dabo, are they going to be the guys that roll up to a Nike, Florida State clinical and have a little party and steal the coaches away? I don't know if they would do that, but Diaz sure as heck would. Would he have done it with Richt around him? No. But now, oh man, I think the savagery is just starting. I really do.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do. I hope we're running up to score on teams because it's been quite a while.
Definitely.
Our answer is it more like Dabo Sweeney? Could he be like Dabo Sweeney? Of course. But is being like Dabo Sweeney doing it the Miami way? No. Manny Diaz has to do it his way. Mm-hmm. He has to do it the way that we do in orange and green. And that's talking smack, that's backing it up, that's turning down players who don't want to play like Miami Hurricanes, who don't want to be like a Miami Hurricane, and doing it within the bylaws of the rules so that we don't have the death penalty or crazy sanctions again. Miami can't be Penn State. Miami can't even be USC. Miami can't be Texas. Miami sure can't be Alabama. Miami has to be Miami. That's with either a 4-2-5 type defense or a 4-3 defense. Anything that's going to get players on the other side of the ball. You go
Yeah.
back and you watch how it was done. Even in the early 2000s, even under Randy Shannon, it's players playing on the other side of the ball, other side of the line of scrimmage. And on offense, it's running it down people's throats and passing it and putting up points and saying, at the end of the day, my players, whether they're first, second, or third string, are better than your players. And if you can't stop us, that's your fault. And it's not called running up the score, it's running our offense. If you can't stop it, that's on you. And I think now when we start talking about uh, coaching turnover, the big thing is at the University of Miami, or at the same time, in any coaching turnover, there's a thing as far as coaches going different places, coaches getting hired, coaches getting more money at different places so that they do leave. Um, that's the definition of coaching turnover. And you saw that a lot recently at Alabama. Yeah, things might have been, they might have won a lot of games, but people have been hiring out of that program and pulling out of that program for the last 5 to 6 years and giving those guys head coaching jobs. Dan Enos has made it known on multiple occasions. I want to be a head coach.
Yep.
I don't know if Brett Venables has the aspiration of being a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
There's multiple people that have come after him for the head coaching job, and he would much rather coach the defense at Clemson. That's where you want to have a connection between a coach to his players and a coach to the coaches to where they will turn down money and they will turn down promotions to continue to wear this U and keep recruiting for Miami. There's nothing like a recruit seeing the same coaches from his freshman year all the way through until National Signing Day wearing the same colors for your institution. Not Dan Enos getting the Florida State job in 2022. Not Blake Baker getting the Mississippi State defensive coordinator job in 2021. Those type of things you have to try to avoid. Number one, with the relationship that you have from a coach to the players and a coach to the coaches. But number two, making sure you pay them well
Yep. I was
that
gonna
they
say
are
pay the
able
man.
to stay here.
Yep.
They're
And
able to stay here, live here. And Miami is a tough place to play, a tough place to live financially.
yeah,
If you can keep things going as far as helping them stay here at the University of Miami, sky's the limit when it comes to us.
definitely. And Slim Shady Canes came up with another $5 donation. He says, "What do UF and FSU students have in common? Neither was accepted to the U." That is a solid one, man. Yeah, they hate us because they ain't us, You're right. You're right. Miami losing to Florida either, Kyle says. Mark Ray, good luck on 24th August. Oh yeah. Love seeing this trash talk. Love it. Yeah, Franks is a taller Rozier. I keep hearing people, Marvin is saying, oh, Franks is whatever. Franks is so similar to Rozier in my opinion that I don't see. I think here's the difference between Rozier and Franks. Franks actually has a capable quarterbacks coach.
That's it. That's the only difference. Finally, somebody said it.
That's the
Somebody
only difference.
I've been saying that I've been saying that for 6 to 8 months.
Tell me Rozier
in
the UF
you
system
turn on
won't
the
do as
Missouri
well as
film.
Franks.
You turn on Georgia film, and Felipe Franks looks like a high school quarterback. You want to know why? They took away all the checkdowns that he loves to do. You want to know why they sent a whole bunch of zone blitzes and really disrupted how he's able to get his progressions going. And on the other side of the ball, Georgia and Missouri were the two teams that were able to attack his defense and put up points and have him on the sideline. That's the similar in Miami. We know how to force turnovers, so it's just that simple. You get it. He loves to throw down the seams and he loves to do check downs.
Yeah.
Take away those two things with what?
Yeah.
Simple cover three, rock and roll coverage, and having more DBs on the field than we have linebackers. It helps as far as X's and O's. Now, people are going to laugh and say, there's no way you can say Malik Rozier and Felipe Franks are the same player. But if you go back and see the best of Malik Rozier and the best of Felipe Franks, their stats are eerily similar if you have the names covered.
Yeah.
A great defense for both quarterbacks and an offense that caught people off guard.
Yep.
Yeah.
And That's what I'm definitely feeling, and I don't know. I keep hearing. I've heard from Gator fans, some of them talking about they have another 4-star stud, on right behind him. They're like, "Well, we wouldn't be surprised to see him start." So I don't understand how there's such a kind of division in the fan base of like he's such a great quarterback versus, oh, you know what? I wouldn't be okay with a young blood coming in and it was just taking it over, which is it's just tells me the fact that there's difference of opinions is the fact that he wasn't always that great and solid. And he's just had a good streak at the end of the season, really.
Does that not sound just like we did
it
going
does.
to the 2018 season?
Exactly.
Saying we have N'Kosi Perry who could take the job.
Yep.
Or we have Malik Rozier who has the experience in returning most of our players. So.
Yep.
Emory Jones is really good. I think he's better than Felipe Franks, quite honestly. I think he might be the best quarterback in the nation.
Whoa.
I'm going out. I think Emory Jones is the best quarterback.
Whoa.
I do.
Man.
I do. If you guys can name me a better quarterback you think is better, I would love to hear.
A better quarterback?
The guy at Clemson break his leg? By any chance?
Justin Herbert at Oregon?
No, I'm saying backup quarterbacks that are better.
Okay.
Take my job. Take my job.
Come on,
man. Tate had a weak spring.
And at the same, time out. Tate had a weak spring. But he's your guy. Come on now.
No, he had a good spring game. But Emory Jones is nice, man. I really like Emory Jones. I do.
Backup? I'll be honest. I don't exactly follow everyone's team's backups, but I mean, I hear murmurs around. What is it? Texas saying that? No, and they have like I don't know. That's hard to gauge, man. What do you look at that to see if the best backup quarterback? I don't know, man. The best quarterback? Thank God it ain't that.
All right. Well, we got about 24 minutes, so let's get into a new subject.
All right.
Emory Jones is nice. I like him.
All right. I know that you guys really want us to touch a little bit more on the recruits, so I'll touch quickly on them in kind of a different way, and I'll throw it up on the screen. So, just an interesting thing for y'all to see here. So Michael Redding was ranked on 247 a .9428. This screenshot right here is right as he committed. The day after, he's at .9243. Like, nothing changed. Literally, his ranking composite score on 247 went down as soon as he committed to Miami. Like, what is up with that? How?
Dog, listen. If we're being honest, can you blame the people from 24/7 Sports for doing this?
Look at this. This is the list someone put out. Mathis dropped 278 spots 6 days after. Restrepo dropped 20 spots 9 days after. Smith has dropped 200. Wiggins dropped over 400 spots.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because the people that run that channel, their degrees are from Florida State, so they don't have any choice. They weren't educated. It's not their fault. It wasn't their fault. And George is their uncle, so they don't understand what's going on in the real world. At the end of the day, these players got to go out there and prove it, man.
You're right.
And like we talked about on the phone yesterday, Anton, if we're being bluntly honest, Michael Pinkney was the 30th ranked inside linebacker. In the same class that Shaq Quarterman was the 3rd. And they both signed to the same team. Who has done more for the University of Miami?
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong. Pickney's the guy. He gets that play, and he starts people avoiding him after he gets a nice, good hit on them and blocks down on a consistent basis. Yep. He sure did. And McLeod, how much was he regarded in recruiting? Can't even talk about that. But, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And that's why, a guy like Restrepo, who's just kind of like up and coming, whatever, in Miami, seeing that talent, grabbing him, getting his commit is just really exciting for me to see, and him proving it out there. I will say, so the other thing I did want to mention, and Paul's going to be happy about this. So, interesting story. So, Tyler Van Dyke was not invited to I think it was what do they call it?
Elite 11.
He was a 21st man. He was not going to make the cut. Someone wasn't able to attend, so he made it to the 20 men that were there or something like that. and he goes in 7-on-7 drills and goes 8 for 8. This guy
Right.
was on fire. And what's also impressive to me is this recruiting. Like, he is recruiting that tight end's booty. He is telling all these guys, the running backs, these wide receivers, all of them are like, get your butts to Miami if you want to win. This is where we're going to create a legend, a history, the U30 for 30 Part 3. I'm excited to keep hearing this on a consistent basis from him. So, just a little tidbit if y'all are watching. Yeah, he's still balling, playing really well.
Yeah, he's at the Elite 11 right now, so hopefully he can finish with a nice ranking. But even if he doesn't get in the Elite 11, those guys flop on a lot. They miss a lot of kids. They're Elite 11s. If you rewatch the shows, there's a lot of kids that make the Elite 11, and they don't really make a lot of noise in college. So just because he doesn't get evaluated well there doesn't mean it's going to hurt us. You know, I think the kid's going to do well. People say he reminds them of Kirk Cousins. So we'll see. We'll see how his Miami career is. But don't sleep on
Is that supposed to be
either.
a compliment?
Kirk Cousins? Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. College football quarterback, did very well at Michigan State. I would take Kirk Cousins any day than any quarterback we've had here in the past forever. So.
Oh, no, you have no argument with that.
Yeah. That's the way I see it, yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you.
Even though I will take Brad Kaya with James Coley as the OC. So he was torturing people left and right. Man. I know you're a hater of Brad Kaya. But,
it's like the thing about Kaya is once you get pressure in that pocket, man, he's done. Like he can't even. He never like ran for a first down in his life. You know, like at least.
Actually, he ran for one his senior year against North Carolina.
Like, we remember that one. We remember that one. You know who Tyler Van Dyke reminds me most of? I'll tell you who. Michael Rappaport off of Prison Break. Have y'all seen his face?
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, the resemblance. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's just like...
They do.
This man out here looking like he's 40. Exact same face. Anyways, it's not really football talk.
That's not...
It's hilarious to me. Hold on, I'm going to pull up for the chat just the resemblance here. But I wish him all the best. And I'm excited seeing him and Chaney. Man, Don Chaney off. He's like getting on that Duke Johnson level. Like I really feel like he's on Duke Johnson level.
Please don't say that.
Don
Please
Chaney?
don't say that.
Y'all don't buy in on him?
I didn't say that.
I think he's gonna be very good.
You say Duke Johnson, especially somebody from Dade County. Duke Johnson was a Dade County legend who just couldn't win at Miami, but he's a legendary player.
He put up
South Florida.
He did a good job.
And Don Chaney Jr., I mean, we've had elite running backs before that hasn't equated to winning. So.
No, I'm with you. But if he stays healthy, man, I really like solid guy.
Solid. I guess I'm not the only one on the Emory Jones bandwagon. I got a little crowd going.
Okay.
Well, two people is a crowd. I thought two people was a pair. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I mean, sure, whatever. Regardless, we're gonna be bringing out this cycle.
Team Emory Jones. Team Emory Jones. I'm gonna bring a poster that says Emory Jones. This is in Miami colors.
Team Emory Jones.
I'm gonna start a chant that says "We want Emory Jones."
That's fine. Hey, listen, just to let everyone know, if Emory Jones shows up on August 25th, he missed the game.
I think he means after, like when they lose, he will be named the starter. Like France, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because he said as of August 25th.
Yeah,
after we knock his head off. Okay.
Yeah, he really does look like Michael Rappaport. It's scary.
I know, it kills me.
Yeah.
But Franks will be dismissed from the team August 25th. Kyle. That's great. Oh man,
whoa. Yeah, that's a little scary. That's probably his dad. And no one knows about it. Also, dog, listen. I don't know if anyone else has gone back and watched that 2013 game, but the preseason hype around that game is just the same as it was with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Florida coming off of a big time winning a big bowl. No, they lost to Louisville. Oh no, I think they won because I think they lost to Louisville
I
later
think they.
on that season.
Yeah, that sounds
Either
about
way,
right.
they were coming off of a 10-win season, had just appeared in a big time bowl game. Miami had went 6-6 in 2012, and Miami comes and hits them in the mouth. I personally think that we're their kryptonite. Um, and it's
Yeah,
just different. One time in 35 years, you beat a team.
yeah,
Even though we haven't played each other all the time, when we do play, even though Miami is ACC and Florida's SEC, you can't really tell the difference. Because I went back and watched that 2008 game from Miami versus Florida, and that was national championship to beat Florida, and
yeah,
we were down 10-6 at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
yeah.
So, and Manny is not going to roll a team out there that's going to embarrass him and Dan Enos on that first game.
Mm-mm.
The only thing I would say is Manny is going to also be able to say, remember, we were this hyped going into last season also against LSU. So make sure your hypeness is in the right place as far as going out there and doing your job at a high level, as
Definitely.
opposed to you just going out there hyped and crazy and you can't wait to
LSU,
run out the
And,
tunnel.
and the
like
important part,
LSU.
we don't have this talk of, which I'm not, I'm all for it, but I don't want this talk going on of after we beat their butts, Miami is back, the U is back. No, 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 no. You got a whole season ahead of you. Let's talk about this in December because as soon as that Gator game went, I remember the ESPN articles. Stephen Moore's face, running, smiling, I'll go to the back, is the U back starting already? And how did we end off that 2012 year,
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm one of those people that love to see ESPN kiss our butt because for the last, at least I've been recognizing Canes football
I'm
and
not,
paying attention to
I'm not
that.
against that. I'm saying the team mentality's got to not be that.
Okay, yeah. You got a great point there. But I think Manny, dog, like I said, the great part about this is we were here in 2017, guys. As far as the same players that were here in 2017 that came back for their senior year, the leaders on our defense have been through the highs of being the mediocre of being 9-4 and winning a bowl game in the first decade, the highs of being ranked as high as number 2 in the country, and the lows as being ranked as 7-6. So they will be able to really lead this team and understand how to handle W's if the L's come, how to handle losses and come back off of that. Which is why I think it's great that we hired from within
Mm-hmm.
because Manny has seen all of it done right and wrong. He's gonna know what to do and what not to do. Like I always say every week.
I gotta mention a couple of those. So first off, Utah coming in with a $5 donation. Ace family saying, "Well, you boys watch my friends' highlights. Today is my birthday to hear your opinion. Go for it, man. Shoot me up. Where do you want to see these highlights?" Second of all, happy birthday to you. Also, Dennis Wilson. His birthday is Friday. And one other birthday that I won't mention. Y'all missed. The wholesome one here had a wonderful birthday this past Saturday. So, I don't know if we'll get a happy birthday dance from Paul for him or what. I don't know how many comments or donations we might need for that. But, happy birthday to all y'all three here. Hope it's a great one. Wish y'all the success and happiness and a best King season. I think will be a great birthday present for us all.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
12-win season.
Yeah, man.
That, man.
23rd birthday on Saturday, man. I'm getting up there. I'm not as old as Paul.
Yeah,
Nah,
some years
man.
left.
Paul is on Michael Rappaport's age. Man.
I'm 47, man. I got 7 years.
He's actually older than Felipe Franks, y'all.
I'm actually older than Felipe Franks. But
It honestly feels like Felipe Franks has been the quarterback there for like 10 years. Bro.
yeah.
He has been there forever. But before we do get off of here, I think we got about 10 more minutes or so. Just wanted to do a nice little plug from a channel, if that's okay with everybody.
Definitely. No, definitely.
So you know how guys I've always done these lists and these things trying to keep us getting through the off season. I came up with this great idea that was kind of cool. The All Canes Decade Team from 2009 to 2018. And it's been really cool, man. Yesterday I was able to upload honorable mention and second team. Got some pretty good responses. Views are kind of low for everybody right now. Um, but a lot of people were a little thrown off by my honorable mention list. So I'll give you a
Oh,
little tap, so you can go watch the channel. We can talk about it now if you guys want to. But I could read off my honorable mentions. My honorable mention quarterback, Ja'Cory Harris, man. He had a lot of stats, but the interceptions threw me off.
Oh man.
So players like Mike James, players like Alan Hearns made my honorable mention. A throwback like Dietrich Epps. I don't know if you guys remember him. He wore 18 in
yep.
'09 and 2010. Guys like Brandon Washington, former Booker T. Washington offensive lineman. Um, and Trevor Darling, a guy who didn't get all the love, came in highly rated, but had a pretty good senior year. Now, the defensive ends threw everybody off. Chad Thomas is an honorable mention.
Okay.
Uh,
Wow.
he's a five-star guy, but unfortunately, never played like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Brandon Washington was from the West. Excuse me. He wasn't from Booker T. I apologize. I was his backup. Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Damn.
That's good. Trent Harris, a guy who played his heart out for the University of Miami, dog, and I think he deserves some love. Um, Shayon Green, number 51,
Ooh.
Wow.
from back in the day, 2012, 2013. That's crazy. Back in the day, it's 2012,
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
Brandon McGee, that's a name that a lot of people probably don't remember.
My
Um,
goodness.
also, Demarcus Van Dyke, 07
Oh,
2010. Yeah, he made
Munson
honorable mention.
from Pace.
Ray Armstrong,
Oh,
Oh,
gotta be.
damn.
Jamal Carter.
Oh, threw him in there.
Guys, yeah. I think he'll be good enough for honorable mention. But yeah, if you want to get an opportunity tonight after this is over, I will be uploading the first team All Canes decade.
Oh,
I'm not gonna give that away. But we could have done a whole show on, hey, all three of us come up with a first team, second team, and honorable mention.
we could
It's
have.
kind of like an all American list. In my eyes, the first team all American were the best, or one B at their positions.
Yeah.
The second team were the guys who stood out to me. They made more plays than honorable mention, so they got a bump up. And honorable mention was guys who, they made some noise here at the U, but they couldn't really make first or second team. So I would love for you guys to go check out the video. Let me know in the comment section on my channel who would make your first and second team, and
Oh,
let me know if I got it right. So you guys go
that's
check
right.
that out for me.
Yeah, y'all definitely. I threw the links up in the chat. Y'all definitely, and they're on the description of this video. Definitely go check out Paul's and Wholesomeone's channels. If you're not
Yeah.
sub to them, I don't know what you're doing. Be sure to check it out. Click on the button there and support them. We try to toss around this show and have it on all three of our channels as well, to get the whole King community out there together. But yeah, definitely y'all. If y'all don't watch Wholesome's content, you definitely gotta check it out. Paul as well, with recruiting breakdowns and such. Definitely be tuning in there for sure. But we're about hitting at the 1 hour mark, which we're gonna try to summarize it. So before, I'm gonna tell the chat, y'all throw in, like last time, your thoughts or any questions or topic suggestions, and I'll just skim through them. Whichever one we see that really catches our eye, we'll touch on it, and we'll talk a little bit here. I'm gonna ask y'all guys if y'all have any other last comments or topics you want to discuss here, Paul.
I got nothing else. I just want to mention we're all focusing on the Florida game because it's the first game of the season, but we're going to be in a dogfight in Tallahassee November 2nd. It's going to be a really tough game. I really do think so. I like James Blackman a lot. I think he's going to do very well with Kendall Briles. A lot of people are counting out Willie Taggart because of his first season, but he will bounce back. Just watch out, guys. It's always tough to play in Tallahassee. We only won by 1 point last year. Remember that, guys, at home, regardless of the situation. So just saying.
I'm with you. Rivalry games are going to be tough and all that, but it's going to be a bit for them to get that back on track a bit, I think. I'm curious to see what the records are going to be of both teams when they meet up against each other. I'm very curious to see where the programs will be at, and it won't matter honestly because where were they last year for our teams, and what was the result of that game? Like you said, a 1 point difference. A 1 point
What
difference.
is up with Justin Flo? It's like everyone has this thing over Justin Flo. It's not happening.
No, he's going to Clemson.
It's not happening. We're not getting Justin Flo. Sorry.
I can promise y'all this much: we could be undefeated, lose to Clemson by 1, beat Michigan in the Orange Bowl by 50. He still goes to Clemson, Georgia, or Bama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the end of the day, our program is not to that level to where we can swing our bat and hit a home run with a guy like that. Especially a guy on the West Coast like that.
Yeah.
You know, if he was a Florida linebacker, I could see us getting to that point of being able to bring him in and being able to maybe hit a nice home run when it comes to Justin Flo. His highlights make you fall in love with him. You know, the guy's build is amazing. You know, he looks like an old school, mindset linebacker playing in today's football. As far as being able to cover, being able to hit, being able to open field tackle, I completely understand that. But guys like that don't come to Miami at the end of the day. We take the guys who want to be Canes, a little undersized, and we put them in our system as opposed to going after the number one linebacker and putting him in our system and letting him play. Things like that just don't happen. They haven't happened here in a while. Not saying that those things could change or not, but to take a guy from California and bring him to the U, we are wasting our time with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the resources there, they should don't waste it because it's gonna be like a Harris situation, man. We won't even make the top 5.
And
That's a
Darnell,
whole nother video conversation. We could go an hour talking about that.
yeah.
But supposedly he wants to play 3-4 outside linebacker. He doesn't want to play 4-3-D. I keep having to fix this app, but I can't see it. Okay, there you go.
Oh,
Oh, you see the Edgerrin James on here? I don't know if y'all see that, but Edgerrin James signature.
Okay.
is-
Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
you know
All
that.
right. I did not see it.
I keep telling y'all, man, the hosted one got a lot of hookups, man. I got something
Damn.
for y'all. I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's gonna
All
be.
right, like I was saying.
Threats to
Um, like I was saying, dog, it'll be tough to bring that guy in. And Darnell Harris, at the end of the day, his dad said in an interview, my son wants to be a part of a winning program.
Yeah.
And that's
Can you blame him? Can you blame him?
just like the wide receiver we lost this last cycle to Oklahoma. He said, "I just want to be at the winning program," and then dished on Miami.
Jaden Hazelwood.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's
You
fine.
know, I blame that on Cajun, but I'm not gonna get into another conversation.
Why Cajun?
Because Cajun was the player he was talking about that we had just lost to Duke, and in that day, the day of, he uploaded a highlight tape
I got
of
you.
his play so far.
I got you. I see what
Oh.
you're saying. Interesting perspective.
Yeah.
I could make a highlight tape with his drop passes, but that's just me.
But I'm with you with we touched on it earlier, but I'll say Diaz is not gonna take losses.
George, roll her, maybe go Bison.
Okay, George.
But
Feel the
don't
love.
kiss up. Do
Never
not
seen never.
kiss up. Yeah, but I just, we're trying to summarize, trying to stay within that hour mark. I don't want to go too far with you guys, but I will pose a question. Hopefully, it doesn't go too far
All right.
into
No,
debate.
that's all good.
Well, 2 questions. I want you all to rank linebackers at the U from Colin McCarthy, Sean Spence, Denzel Perriman, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Who was the? Okay.
Colin
Denzel Perryman,
Let me write these down.
Colin McCarthy, Sean Spence.
Okay, so that's your. So Denzel is number 1 or Denzel number 3?
Denzel is number 1. Colin McCarthy number 2. Sean Spence is number 3.
Okay.
I put
Okay.
I had the same Denzel, but I had Spence at second and Colin at third.
Yeah. I got Spence at 2, man. At the end of the day, with him being a Dade County guy, him playing at the West, that's always been my dream high school. And Just him always showing up every game. Denzel Perryman has been my favorite player, so he's number one. Gerald Willis as a close second, but DP 31 and 44 to me,
It,
in that order.
it was Perryman that like started doing push-ups when he dropped an interception and they threw a flag on him or whatever for the unsportsmanlike conduct. I saw lately my Instagram feed, and this was not even a Miami Instagram. They're just like, "Are you kidding me? Like, who the heck is flags for push-ups?" But the hate is real. If y'all didn't see transfer portal rules being changed, that was all because of Miami. Okay, don't tell me otherwise. We know they're recruiting, but it don't matter because at the end of the day, they hate us because they hate us, and it's always all about the U. College football world is ready for us to be back, and we're coming back. And Diaz is going to put us back on the spot. I'm with this era. I'm excited. It's coming, y'all. It is coming. Hold on.
Coming.
All right, so my second one, and then we'll leave it at this. I want you to rank safety for me between Shaquan Johnson, Deion Bush, Ray Armstrong, and Rayshawn Jenkins. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Number 1, Jaquan. Number 2, Ray Armstrong. Number 3, Rayshawn Jenkins. Number 4, Deion Bush.
Okay.
The reason why I put Deion Bush 4th is because it's not really his fault. Look at the system he was in with D'Onofrio. I mean, he wasn't really used properly at all. Like, did he shine at all? Not really. Deion Bush never made an impact, in my opinion, at Miami. The way he came in, coming out of Christopher Columbus Senior High School, 4-star recruit. I know he's playing in the NFL now, but I think it was the system that kind of messed his performance up with D'Onofrio. So that's why. And I always liked Ray Armstrong ever since he was in high school. That's why I put him up so high, because the hype he came in with. So that's why.
And he kind of lived up to it to me to a certain extent.
Yeah, and I would say I feel like Ray would be number 1 for me, right? Then Jaquan would be 2. I love Jaquan's just his Mamba mentality, man. He was such a team player as well. Deion Bush at 3 and Rayshawn Jenkins at 4 for me.
My list is eerily similar, but I got Ray Armstrong at number 4. Hard hitter, but he lacked the ability to cover in the ACC in a too high safety system under Randy Shannon. But as you can see, he moved to linebacker and has thrived in the NFL, making almost a decade.
Yeah.
Think about that. Ray Armstrong has lasted in the NFL for almost a decade, moving from safety to linebacker. At number 3, one of my personal favorite guys was Rayshawn Jenkins. Like I can honestly sit here and think about 3 or 4 plays that he made interception-wise, even in that horrible Mark D'Onofrio defense, Rayshawn Jenkins. At number 2, Deion Bush. You guys may not like him as much as I do, but he was one of the only standouts on that 2015 team. Him and Artie Burns that did anything. The first half versus Florida State in 2014, forcing that forced fumble and then closing out the half with an interception at the 1-yard line. I love it. And him as a starting safety with the want to and thrive to play special teams, and he made a lot of plays on special teams that points out to me with my coaching mindset. And number 1 has to be Jaquan Johnson. He had through it all, stood in the paint. The only player, one of 3 players in Dade County history to make all-day first team 4 years in a row, and we held on to that guy, kept him from Alabama, kept him from Auburn, whatever. He came to the U and made plays from his freshman year all the way to his senior year. So that will be my.
Yes, sir, definitely. Y'all got any other questions that y'all have or topics you want to talk? We're gonna summarize it all here, guys. I appreciate everyone that joined the stream today. We had as many as 52 people today. Amazing for a Tuesday night crowd. July 4th is coming up, so I know we all get in that holiday mood, but I hope y'all have a great July 4th. Make America proud. Shoot up a whole bunch of fireworks. It's just cover up Miami in the smoke, and go Canes. Go Canes, y'all.
All about the U.
All about the U, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Miami Martell, August 24th.